How's it going, guys, and welcome to the next video in Mule City Save. I'm making this video pretty late at night and I'm very tired, so if I stumble on my words a little bit in this video, you know why. I'm very tired. But since last video, which was against Watford and it was a 2-2 draw, we brought in some new players, and in the last video I said I don't think I'd be making any other signings, but the board ended up giving us 15 million. Didn't need to spend any of that really. Maybe used a bit of it on the agents' fees and maybe some of the wages and stuff like that. But really, we've spent the money that we brought in ourselves for selling some of our better players. We've brought in 26 million and we've spent nearly 21 million. So we've still made a bit of a profit here. We're bringing in other players. So since last video, we've sold Abel Hernandez to Atletico Mineiro for 7.75 million. And we've sold Alex Bruce to Bristol City for 300,000. But I'm pretty sure in the last video I didn't say anything about Iver Fossum. I think that was before we actually brought him in. So we brought him in from Stromgodset, I think that's how you say the name, 3.1 million. Iver is a pretty young guy. Well, he's 19. Got some good stats in my opinion for a central midfielder. Also can play pretty well in defensive midfield and attacking midfield. But I scouted him. I was looking at some players to bring in, some younger guys. Seeing him, and I just couldn't resist not bringing him in. His work rate and teamwork really stick out in my mind. And by the time he's say 23, 24, he's going to be a hell of a player. So very happy with bringing him in. Just getting this correct. We brought in Stefan Klebing, and if you guys can remember, I'm probably not saying his name right, Klebing, but I'll say it as I say it. If you can remember my Everton save on Football Manager 2015, we came across Leverkusen a few times on that save. I think we come across them in the Europa League and the Champions League over the course of the seasons. And Stefan was always a thorn in my side, literally just insane good against me. And I seen him for the bargain price. It was actually his agent that told me, hey, agent offers Stefan, So I thought, well, I need to bring him in for 1.6 million. Can't resist him. I would have him at any club in the world that I would manage, literally, because he's that good. So, looking at his goal scoring record and his career stats, he scored 122 goals for 288 appearances for Leverkusen. So he's just got great, finishing ability, really. So couldn't resist him. Had to bring him in. Simple as that. His attributes literally speak for themselves. And we brought in Sayuba for 1.1 million, a young goalkeeper. 22 years old, needs to work on his handling, which we are in training, but he's got some great stats for a 22-year-old goalkeeper. I think this guy's a bargain. Basically just over £1 million. He's going to be a good goalkeeper in the future, 100%. And we brought in Jesse Lingard, and this is weird, right? I actually brought him in whilst watching the United and Chelsea game at the weekend. I signed him then, and he went on to score that really nice goal against Chelsea. So I felt justified bringing him in, brought him in for 4.8 million. Maybe, I should have brought someone else in. Maybe the money's a bit wasted because it's Hull City after all. I still see, over 4 million, a lot of money to spend. But we'll see, he's 23 years old. Will be 24 in 2016 of this game, so this year on the game. So his stats will improve. Finishing 14, that's really good, really fast player. If he can work on some of the other attributes of his, maybe his crossing as well, big time we need to work on that. He's going to turn out to be a good player for us. So he can play, in attacking midfield in the centre on the left-hand side, and he can play up front if we needed him, for example. So, you know what? I'm happy with that buy, It's just I really don't like spending a lot of money on certain players when I'm at like a club like Hull. I want to just try and get the bargains if I can, but maybe he'll turn into a bargain himself for 4.8 million. So looking at the schedule since the 2-2 draw against Watford, we had a 2-0 win against Cardiff, Aloha, and Sean Maloney scoring there. 2-0 win against Charlton, and then we ended up beating Watford 2-0 in the actual replay. So I was very happy with that. We just completely dominated them at Vicarage Road. Then we had a 4-5 defeat against Fulham. That game was just madness. We should have won that game. We went ahead in the 4th, and then the 8th minute they come back. But one of those games where even though you lose, you're so happy with the team's effort, you know what I mean? It was just a strange performance, yeah, an amazing game. So disappointed, but I was so happy, you know, in a strange way as well. So it's what it is. Lost against Southampton 4-2 when David Mailer got sent off in the 56th minute. He just left us in the lurch big time. Couldn't do anything about it. Southampton did deserve to win that, but him getting sent off just left us in the lurch. 1-0 win against Brighton. Very good win that was, despite it only being an own goal, but a win is a win. And then we beat Burnley 2-1. Callum McManaman and Ben Watson with the goals there. And then we lost against Blackburn Rovers. Very disappointed. But if you actually look at the match stats, we should have maybe got a little bit more from that game. You know, 54% of the possession, 12 for the shots and target. You know, 12 shots, only 3 on target though. So really up front, we were poor. So that was last time out. Now we're going to be against Nottingham Forest. Big game last time. We actually did a video against Nottingham Forest. It was a really good game. So hopefully it will be this time as well. Looking at the actual championship itself, we're currently 4th in the moment. 57 points. Won 17, drawn 6 and lost 8. Very much now in the hunt for the automatic promotion spots, when last time out, you know, it seemed to be, let's just concentrate on the playoffs. So if we could get another good run of form, we can easily get into the top 2 and maybe even potentially win the league. I'm very confident in the team that I've got that we can do that. But a win today against Nottingham Forest is essential in us, you know, maintaining that hope of getting an automatic promotion spot. And looking at the games after this, you know, we've got some very winnable games. So Ipswich we can win, Sheffield Wednesday, Birmingham, Brentford, MK Dons. Middlesbrough will be a tricky game, but I think we can win them. Bristol, Derby, Huddersfield. We could easily win any of these teams. So very confident. Nottingham Forest beat us last time out. So let's see what we can do against them today. Got a strong lineup. Stefan, since coming in, played a little bit, you know, disappointing. Hasn't scored in 4 games. So he's had a bit of an opportunity to make a mark and he hasn't. But Leonardo Alua has scored 4 from 6 since coming in. And very good as a target man. So Lingard will be playing. Callum McManaman, Livermore, Watson, Huddlestone, Robertson, Dawson, Curtis Davis, Trippier, McGregor in the goal. So that's our starting 11 against Nottingham Forest. They're currently 3rd on 59 points. They've got a pretty sturdy lineup. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to say. Southampton come in for Phelan, you know, my assistant manager, but he ended up wanting to stay. Okay, 2 minutes gone in the first half. It's about nearly 3 o'clock in the morning here when I'm doing this video. Just really needed to do a video on my channel. I'll be doing a Wolfsburg one tomorrow as well, as in recording one, to start off my second season there. Okay, God, a bit of a clusterfuck there in the penalty area. And they head wide. I assume that was a header anyway. They're all over us at the minute. Oh, God, terrible defending. Okay. Got a bit of a new squad together here, though, so it will take a good few games for the squad to gel, especially against the teams that are in the hunt for promotion. But 50-50 possession, 5 shots, we've had 2 on target. They've had 1 clear-cut chance, though. But all over us in the highlights. Lansbury whacks it wide. Okay, Lingard's not done too much. We'll have to probably bring on Sean Maloney at half time. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, okay. Gets a pretty decent shaft there, but nothing much. Okay, it's half time, and we've actually been the better team, but in the highlights, obviously, it doesn't look that way. Okay, overview. Jesse Lingard's been playing a little bit poor. Let's bring on Sean Maloney, our top goal scorer this season. Okay. Let's keep it like that. Let's start the second half. Pretty decent at home this season. Away from home, we've struggled at times, especially in the run of form that we had when we were doing really bad. Okay, Huddlestone, lovely ball. Sean Maloney hit the side net in there. Don't know if that was a cross or a shot. But we're starting to dominate possession here. We do sometimes turn it on towards the end. Right, Watson, McManaman, Watson, Maloney, Livermore. Oh, lovely save by their goalkeeper there. Okay, let's bring off Dawson as he's starting to get tired. There's no one to bring in, I'll have to keep him on. I literally forgot to put my other central defender on the bench. I knew there was something I forgot. Because one of our central midfielders' names is very similar to one of our centre backs, so I must have got confused there. My cat is making a racket. I don't know what's wrong with that cat. Okay, what I'm going to do is bring on Kleben. And if I'm not pronouncing his name, please tell me how to say it. I'd really appreciate that. Sometimes I've heard some of the players' proper, pronunciations from a commentator, and I've said their names in very strange ways on my commentaries on this. I feel alright, idiot. Okay, so I brought Kleben on. Let's bring on Mailer for Huddlestone. Don't need to change things up, Callum McManaman picked up a knock. That's one thing I do remember about him on my Middlesbrough save when I had him. He's very injury prone. 84th minute. I'm going to take 84th there. Oh, they've got a corner. Oh, Nelson Oliveira scores for them. The former Benfica man. Fucking 87 minutes as well. What a killer that is. And I've got to be honest with you guys. Um, this is why I don't like bringing people on at times unless I have to, because it sometimes just affects the balance of the team. And a lot of the times when I brought people on, I concede a goal or a team gets back into it. I really personally like sticking to a starting 11 and only bringing people on if I have to. And that's not great with a rotational squad or when you've got really good players on the bench, but quite a lot of the times starting with 11 and finishing with 11 does work for me, and only bringing on people if I have to. So I'm very unhappy with that, to lose against Nottingham Forest. We should have got something more from that game. I'll say unlucky with some of the shots we had. But we're still in fourth. But the second and third have a game in hand now. But we're well ahead of the playoff teams. So against Ipswich next, where we need to get a win there, and in these run of games here, where we're against teams that we should really beat, definitely get something from those games. So I really appreciate you watching, guys, this episode. Sorry if might have seemed a little bit off. I'm very tired, but I wanted to do a video. So thanks for watching again, and take care.